Ericsson will take off, and he'll be replaced by Marcus Armstrong. What a start to this race. We'll get to, unfortunately, what happened later, but I want you to tell me how you went from 8th to 3rd at the beginning of this race.
I haven't thought about it yet. If my memory serves me right, I had a good launch and just sort of took my chances around the outside. If I remember well, someone broke too late in front of me, and I just sort of picked up the pieces. So I was actually trying to be conservative. As you can probably remember, I sort of just crossed over Newgarden on the exit of turn 5. Again, I wasn't trying to do anything special, just try and pick up the pieces, and that's exactly what we did. And I think we picked up, 5 spots or something.
And then, unfortunately, running up front, a caution stopped. The rest of the field stopped. You did not. Have you kind of talked through the team about what the options were and why the decision was made and ultimately how it played out?
Yeah, it didn't work in our favor, unfortunately. It's one of those things as strategy. Being a strategist in IndyCar might be the most difficult job in motorsports. So, it's one of those things we're going to learn from. We're going to move forward and get the result next time.
And then I haven't seen it, but I heard it on the broadcast that you're a lap down after some more. Here, we'll see it for the first time. You're trying to stay out of the way of the leader at some point. Take me through this. So that's after and off, and then you get in this situation. How's that all going through, just making sure you're getting out of the way?
It looks fairly sketchy there, but I knew he was coming. Someone told me on the radio that Alex was obviously leading the race and just to let him through, so that's exactly what I did. And it wasn't ideal to finish the race, but again, it's something that I will look back on and learn on next time.
I know you're frustrated with the finish in 23rd, but you showed a lot of pace, and you continue to remind people of, this young man's got a lot of talent. He's going to be in victory lane soon. Thank you, Marcus.
Thank you very much.
Over to Dylan.
Finishes 11th today, and I want to go back to the start of your day. I understand I was in here earlier, and you were on the table getting worked on a little bit. Did you have a stiff neck or something? Is that what you were struggling with?
Yeah, just old age, I suppose. But first off, happy Father's Day to everybody out there. It's a great place to be to enjoy it here in Road America. Missing my girls, but just in practice, went into 5, hit the brake, felt something pop in my back, just got a rib out there, had a little spasm, but we're able to get taken care of and get it better, get some tape on it. She's still pretty stiff right now, but take a couple days to get better, but we'll be fine.
How tough is that on a track that is faster now with the repave and everything else you guys are kind of dealing with? It's a physical racetrack.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. The outlap, going out of the pits to do the parade and pace laps, I was not feeling good at all. But in the end, adrenaline starts to take over. I'm feeling it right now for sure, but adrenaline takes over when you're in the car. Kind of get through the process of it. Every time a big brake zone would come, you'd get a quick reminder. But look, we had a solid day with the Fifth Third Bank car. Obviously, we felt that we had pace to be there in the top 6. We were ahead of Ericsson and Christian and a lot of those guys for a bit there, and I just had a terrible outlap on my last stop there, and that's on me. And certainly expect more, but pretty solid recovery.
Yeah, and it has been, I'm sure, somewhat of an emotional, difficult week for this entire team. So to come here and put 2 cars in the top 11 effectively, I'd imagine that feels pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it's as I said, the guys that are no longer with us are great guys, and they're true gentlemen and high-class guys I've enjoyed working with. So I don't think that that's the magic bullet. But at the same time, we have to make changes, and we've got to try to improve and really focus on, frankly, 2024 at this stage and finish 23 strong, learn as much as we can. I thought we learned some good stuff this weekend that hopefully will carry us forward as we go into Mid-Ohio, my home race, and expecting some great things there.
Positive weekend for Graham Rahal. Hope you get feeling better. He'll head to Mid-Ohio next week on the strength of an 11th place finish. If Alexander Rossi finishes 10th today, and after so much promise to the start of the weekend, I know this is not the finish that they ultimately wanted. So what were you guys battling today that kind of led you to slip there at the end?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I think that the balance was pretty good. I think that I don't know. I feel like it's something to do with a straight line thing, but I haven't been able to look at data yet. We had to use a lot of overtake to try and just keep position. And then at the end, other cars had, 50 seconds more than that. So with the straights here, that's really where we lost most of the spots in the final stint. But yeah, I mean, I think the car was good. So I don't have an answer, unfortunately. You know, I think throughout the whole weekend, the Darryl McLaren team did an amazing job. You know, Team Chevy's been fantastic. Yeah, I think from the test here, you know, we carried a lot of potential into the weekend, and this is the first Sunday we've really struggled. So we'll look into it. It's not the end of the world, but certainly we're going to have to find an answer for that guy that keeps winning.
And you told me at the start of this weekend, you guys normally do race well, so I think there was some optimism that even though qualifying didn't go like you wanted it, the race would be okay. So does that make this one a little more difficult to swallow, just given maybe some of the optimism that was at the start of the weekend?
Yeah, like I said, you know, the balance was good. You know, I felt like we were good compared to other cars. We just were getting overtaken a lot. So I don't know. I don't know if it was our trim level. I don't know if it was gearing. I don't know if they were just better in those corners than me. Like I said, we'll look into it and understand it. But all in all, you know, we came to this weekend focusing on single lap pace. I think we've determined that we've got that sorted out now. We just got to blend Saturday and Sundays together.
All right, that's the goal for Alexander Rossi moving to Mid-Ohio. He finishes 10th today. Kevin?
We've heard
who finished 9th today, and that doesn't even begin to tell the story. You guys went to the back, and for the second race in a row, kind of had to scratch and claw to get through there, but how do you evaluate that, going to the back and still getting a top 10?
Yeah, I mean, the start was my fault, right? I had an amazing jump from P6, and I was like nearly passing for P3. And I don't know if I had loads more grip than everyone else. I didn't feel like I was too deep, but I ran into the back of Pato, so feel bad for him. I don't know if he lost any positions from it, but I spun myself out, cycled to the back. Obviously, the first car to go to the back, so we were literally dead last there for a little bit. But I was able to pass cars on track. It showed how good our number 27 AutoNation Honda was. And we had good strategy, good pit stops, and got us back up in the top 10. So we were happy with the top 10, and I was able to get off one more position there at the end. So we're happy with that, but, I mean, just a kind of a dumb mistake in the beginning for me.
But you did move forward, as you said, and a lot of that was strategy. A lot of that was you just driving through the field. But what was the biggest key you felt like to allowing you guys to kind of keep moving forward?
Probably pace, to be honest. I mean, we had pace to do whatever we wanted to on both tires, I think. So, I mean, it just opens up the strategy whenever you have pace like that, because you can pit a lap early, pit a lap later, and you're probably going to make positions from it.
All right, that's Kyle Kirkwood. Solid top 10
for Chip Ganassi Racing. So for you, from 9th to 6th, and you had some challenges listening to radio mid-race. So I'm going to guess, do you feel pretty good about where you ended up?
Yeah, I think, you know, it was a good result in the end. I think we had a ton of pace in that number 8 Husky Ice Spritz car. It was really fast all day, but unfortunately, we had a couple of problems in the pits today, which is unusual, but, you know, that's racing. So we lost a few spots there, and without that, I think a podium might have been on the cars, but that's racing. I think still P6, and, you know, Alex winning. It's a great day for us in the team.
And you put your trust in your engineer, Brad Goldberg, about trying something different. Mid-race there, you were the only one on the alternates, and I know you're wondering, can we make these last?
Yeah, Brad and Taylor and the rest of the 8 crew there did a great call to go on the Reds for stint 2, and they played out really well. So, yeah, strategy was spot on, and we were fast, and we were fighting. It was a lot of, you know, pushing and wheel banging and fun out there, so it was a good day.
So in one sense, we'll look at the championship standings and see the big gap that your teammate Alex Palou has amassed. But the other side of that is you're still second. And I spoke about this on the broadcast, how you're probably not really looking at that too much this year about where the standings are at this point. Does that sound right?
Yeah, I think, you know, for me, leading the championship for a long time last year, I feel like I was looking a lot at the championship then and sort of racing the championship instead of every weekend. And that's something I wanted to do differently this year, so I'm trying to just take every weekend and try and maximize every weekend, and then, you know, when we get to Laguna, we can, or the last couple of races, we can start, you know, looking at the championship. So for sure, Alex has a big lead, but this is IndyCar, anything can happen, so we just have to keep our head down and keep working hard and maximizing every weekend.
I know you had last weekend off, but it still felt like we're just finishing up May. Is now this kind of the time to reset? We're basically at the midpoint of the season. Are we ready for the second half championship stretch now?
Yeah, I felt really exhausted after the month of May. You know, being the defending champion, it was a really tough month of May for me. I had my schedule was pretty crazy, and then, you know, we went straight to Detroit. So after Detroit, I was pretty tired. So I just took a week and just sort of switched off and relaxed for a week, and that really helped me recharge. And I felt like this, for me, is the start of the second part of the season here in Road America, and we're off to a pretty good one, so looking forward to the rest of it.
All top 10s for Martin.
Herta dominated today, led 33 laps, ultimately slips to 5th at the end. That 1 lap early pit stop, was that the difference? And did you realize that you were going to have to save that much when you guys did come in a lap early?
It was unclear to me, like, how the race was going to play out at that point. It was hard to say what was going to happen with fuel numbers. I knew it was about 15 laps ago, and that's usually a pretty reasonable fuel number, but it ended up being quite a bit more, so it's a frustrating one. Like, we had the best car, and we were cruising the whole time. Like, I had so much more in it, and we just never really got to show it because we were always saving fuel, trying to go that lap later. So that's a killer. You know, we still got a 5th out of it, which is nice. Not what we want, though, and so for that reason, it's pretty frustrating.
Yeah, to your point, you said earlier, you know, you guys have raced well this year. You've started deeper and gone forward. Today, it's the opposite. That makes this sting that much more, I'd imagine.
Yeah. But you know, when you're starting 14th, it's a lot easier to move forward than when you're starting first. So it does suck. You know, it's a top 5 in the end, which is nice points, but you know, the moment I could care less about it. So
thanks, Colton. Tough day for the 2016. They'll end up.
Dylan's got him.
That's right. Plus 19 today, 23rd to 4th. And you say it could have gone better. How could it have gone better than going plus 19, other than, I guess, getting to victory lane?
Yeah, we could have won. Obviously, you know, just 1 spot away from a podium, which would have been nice too. So huge credit to the PNC Bank 9 crew and, you know, Honda as well. It was definitely a day where you needed drivability and, you know, trying to look after those Firestones, but, you know, also fuel mileage. So, yeah, it's got a little rough there on the back there a couple of times. Pit strategy kind of went the way it should have. You know, I think it would have helped us a lot maybe if they didn't, you know, wait for that Grosjean crash, and then, you know, they keep doing that, which would have, I think, benefited us a lot more. But congrats to the 10 car. Man, he's having a hell of a championship right now, and definitely a great lead there going on. So it's time to get to work and see if we can all start closing that gap. But congratulations to the team.
On a day where there was maybe some apprehension just about what we were going to see from the tires, how we were going to race offline, those kind of things for somebody that had to pass cars, did everything kind of go like you thought it would as you drove through the field, or were there some things that surprised you still?
Definitely spiced it up, I think. You know, especially offline was kind of rough. Even later in the race where you had to make some dives, you know, it'd take 2 or 3 corners for it to clean up and get going again. But it was also beneficial in the same, you know, aspect for myself if somebody went off in front. So it's, I think they did a great job here. You know, it was nice to have some pretty high grip back in an IndyCar. A lot of the circuits we go to now feel pretty low grip for us. But yeah, you know, the tires, I think, surprisingly went really well. I think a lot of people were having a bit of a downer on how the Reds were going to be, but they did a hell of a job. So, yeah, it was good.
You had Pato in front of you there in 3rd at the end, and we showed the Long Beach incident on our broadcast. Was there any thoughts of if you got to him, how physical it was going to get?
That day will come. You know, we'll see. But, you know, I think that there's a time and place for it. You know, we were trying to get close. You know, he had more OT than us, and, you know, it is what it is. You know, we for the most part, we try to race as clean as possible, you know, depending on when it comes down to.
All right, good day for Scott Dixon. Started 23rd, finished 4th today, Kevin.
Pato O'Ward started 2nd and finished 3rd, but it was more than just that because you had to work to get there. Let's go back to the beginning of the race and everything going on, and then just how you made your way back to the podium.
Yeah, it was a hard-fought race for us. We were a bit of a ping-pong in the beginning, getting hit in turn 1, then hit in turn 2. And then we got shuffled back, had to give a couple positions, and then I think we were sitting 9th or something, and then we just fought our way forward. There was really no other thing to do, and yeah, I'm happy with the result. It was a solid job by the team in the pits, and yeah, considering where we've ended the last couple of races, I think this was a really good job.
You had to be brought back. You ran out of fuel on the cool-down lap, is that right?
Yeah, I might have made it, but I might have not. It was just going to be more pain to get, you know, run out of fuel maybe around over there in the kink or something. So I just stopped in turn 5, yeah.
So we talked before the race, and no pressure was your response and whether you really needed to bring one home. Now that you have brought one home and got maybe some momentum back, what does this do for the program as we move forward this season?
We've been fighting in the top 3 every single week, and there hasn't been one where we haven't. So I don't see that changing. I think we're going to still be in the fight. Obviously, this isn't ideal for all of us, including ourselves in the championship. But Alex and the Ganassi guys did a fantastic job today, and we need to be better.
We wondered how this would race with the new pavement today. So what's your assessment of what this racing is like here now?
I'm a big fan of this repave. It's been a joy to drive this track.
Thank you. Pato O'Ward comes home with a podium. Dylan.
Let's finish second today, which is never fun, but a solid day for the points, as you said, nonetheless. So talk about your day and just some of the things you battled. I know you feel like you maybe had a shot or a car good enough, but just didn't have it at the end.
I mean, we definitely had a shot at the win today. Not at the end. I think Palou was just better than us on that final stint. So, he did a great job. He's very deserving. I just, in the middle of the race, definitely we had an opportunity. And I chose a lane on the restart when we had all the lap cars, not lap cars, but the off-cycle cars in front of us. And it was just I chose the wrong lane. I chose the wrong lane with Palou, and I lost a couple spots to Colton and Pato. And then that just kind of set us up for the end of the race. We were playing catch up. So I felt like if I made a different choice there, maybe we had an opportunity for the win. But I mean, I guess I'm happy to be disappointed with second. This was a great recovery drive, I think, from our team. We rolled off really pretty bad. I mean, we were off the pace and not happy. This team went to work, did a great job with the PPG car and Team Chevy. So I got to be, pretty pleased with second. It's tough when you have an opportunity, I think, to win and you just don't seal the deal.
Yeah, given how good you've been here in the past, I mean, were you surprised at how different things were at the start of the weekend just with the new pavement?
Yes and no. I mean, we knew it was going to be drastically different to what it was in the past. I'm a big fan of, old pavement tracks. I think that the team here has done a tremendous job. I mean, the track's really in great shape. It's super smooth. I think as a team, we got to be better on smooth surfaces. It seems like a weakness of ours right now. So we were certainly better on the old surface. We've just got to figure out, what's the ideal package here going forward. But we'll work on it. I believe in this team, and we'll figure it out.
Second today for Josef Newgarden. Kevin.
Back to victory. Alex. There's Ricky Davis, longtime crew chief, team manager. We have marveled at your perseverance through whatever the situation is, and in this case, it was a crash in practice to come back with a car that you really hadn't driven. How did you survive this weekend and get it back to victory lane?
It's been an amazing weekend, honestly. We started with a lot of speed. Big mistake by my part in practice too, but it was amazing. They had only an hour and a half to rebuild all the car. We went back on track, and it was even better than on practice too. So I'm super happy. They gave me the pit stop that gave us the win as well. So yeah, cannot thank them enough. It was an amazing day for the number 10 American Legion Ganassi car, and we're going to keep it going.
I'm going to give you another chance to credit the team. There's Barry Wanzer, one of the team managers and the strategist. So you mentioned the quick pit stops. They not only had to repair your car, they had to prepare a backup for Scott Dixon. What do you make of what this team was able to do to get both of you guys up at the front? And Marcus wasn't too far behind Ericsson either.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing. Yesterday, honestly, it was a tough day for the team. They had to, as you said, rebuild not only my car but also Scott's one. We made it back on time for qualifying, and not only on time, but we were able to fight for qualifying. So amazing. As I said, we're going to try and keep it rolling. We have an amazing team behind. So
Colton Herta had a pretty big gap. Did you know that he was a lap shorter on fuel? And take us through this last opportunity when you did get him for what turned out to be the winning pass.
Yeah, honestly, he was really quick on the first couple of laps on the blacks, and I thought I was not going to catch him. But anyway, I knew our tires were a bit slower on getting up to temperature, so we kept on pushing, kept on putting some pressure, and we finally made it happen.
You won a championship in your first year with the team. You were in the mix last year, but there was a lot going on. How much should the rest of the field look out this year, considering you're in your happy place, everything is good, you're focusing on what you need to focus on? How strongly do you feel that the championship is yours at this point?
Nothing, 0%, man. Honestly, it's IndyCar. Yeah, we had really good results so far. We are good on points so far, but IndyCar, you never know. You go to Mid-Ohio and you struggle on pace, and somebody gets a roll, and yeah, they can have 3 or 4 wins in a row. So we're going to keep on focus each race, Mid-Ohio next, and cannot wait for it.
Congratulations. Enjoy a weekend off.
I will. Thank you.
Alex Palou.
T4, Alex Palou over Marcus Ericsson. And the third place, Josef Newgarden, 81 points adrift of the championship leader.